Jensen Mason, who retired from heat number 1. He's going to be on in P1 with Catherine Potter alongside. Then it's Curtis Latimer and Bartek Filipiak with Jaden Hewitt and Harry Hurst-Grover on the 3rd row. 7th will be Nicholas Ellis. He's alongside Joe Garraway with Ben Horner and Jacob Dukes, the Heat 1 winner in P10. Then it's Reese Owen and Melissa Adrian, 11th and 12th, with Ollie Naylor and Sam Stoner, 13th and 14th. James Waring and Maximus Shields, Seamus Cox and David Goodman complete your runners. Just keep an eye out there. I think Freddie Lines came back in, having had a bit of an issue on that final lap with the, I think the rear bumper had come out on that one, so that cart's going to be rolling back into pit lane. Junior Max will be out next, followed then by Honda Cadet for heat number 3 before we break for lunch. We'll be straight back then with heat 4 for Honda Cadet, because they'll have the lunch break then. We'll go through the cycle of heats once again before we have the B final for Honda Cadets. Then we'll have all of our finals, ending the day with Minimax to crown the 2022 champion between Goff and Fox Whiteley. There we go then for the penultimate race of the morning. Juniors making their way out onto track. 2 rolling up laps, of course, for them. And they will be led round then by Jensen Mason. Involved in that opening lap incident, I think could have bent the track rod at the front with him when he was coming in. It looked like he'd said something was bent on the front end, so that's why he retired from that first race of the day. Everybody's into position. They'll be rolling through. It looks like we could be getting this one going at the first time of asking. Everybody nicely into the positions, into the tram lines, power down. And it's green lights. We're away and racing. Nicholas Ellis makes a good start. Jensen Mason, though, will hold it. It's a move by Ollie Naylor down the inside as he comes through. Trying to get over that disappointment of that opening heat early on. Move down the inside there. Nicholas Ellis on Jaden Hewitt. It's all the cartel carts. 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Though there is going to be a change for the lead early on. Sweeping right the way round the outside and then heading down towards Barney's on that opening lap is the 56 of Curtis Latimer. Jensen Mason, Joe Garraway and Jacob Dukes are making early inroads into the field in front of them. Dukes finding a way past Nicholas Ellis. And Ollie Naylor could well do the same as well. Down the inside he goes on Ellis, takes a chunk of curb. Ellis on the outside has to relent, and Ollie Naylor comes through, and he is up into 6th place now. Latimer leading from Mason and Hewitt. Garraway is already past Jaden Hewitt, though. He's up into 3rd place. Jacob Dukes in 5th, in front then of Ollie Naylor, Ben Horner, Reese Owen and Catherine Potter. Number of carts there as they bounce their way through that right and then the left. The left on the inside, there's a row of what looks like cat's eyes, but they're basically raised bits on the inside to try and keep drivers away from those tyres. Latimer with Garraway now up into 2nd place. We've had Bartek Filipiak and Catherine Potter off at the final corner. They're way down the order now, some half a lap behind the rest of the field. They're across the line now in 17th and 18th place respectively. Latimer though leads from Garraway. Then it's Mason with Hewitt, but Hewitt's dropped down a place I think because we've got Jacob Dukes now coming over the line in 4th place. Garraway with wanting a little bit more from his engine with a A little bit of a radiator flap adjustment. Doesn't need to be too hasty in finding a way here past Curtis Latimer, because he's still got a bit of a cushion back to Jensen Mason, although that cushion is about to disappear as Jacob Dukes dives down the inside. Mason's going to get the cut back though. Dukes is going to try and run him tight to the inside and does so, and there's a bit of a sandwich. Dukes with his arm up in the air, but he did run the driver tight to the inside. Not quite sure where he expected Jensen Mason to put his 58 kart. Latimer, though, has handed over the lead, of course, now to Joe Garraway, who leads us over the line. So Garraway getting through in the final half of that lap. Latimer, then Hewitt, Mason. Dukes now back down to 5th place with Nicholas Ellis in 6th. Naylor, Horner, Cox and Shields making good progress up inside the top 10, having started towards the tail of the field in this random grid format. He's still battling it out for 2nd place in the championship between Nicholas Ellis and himself. Heading towards half race distance we go. As Mason gets forced wide down there at Alan Wones. Shields, who was 3rd in Heat 1. Ellis in 7th. We follow Nicholas Ellis now coming under pressure from Ollie Naylor. Naylor down the inside of Nicholas Ellis, and Ellis is going to go wide and has to drop back into position. And Horner is going to come through as well, faring really, really well in his move up, and that's the 79 of Seamus Cox. And Shields is coming through as well. Tumultuous lap for Nicholas Ellis, although Shields has to get out of the corner and Ellis sweeps back round the outside. Shields slow on exit from Holmes. Seems to be back up to pace though, but just seemed to bog down a little bit out of that tight corner. It's the 2 Cartel machines of Latimer and Jaden Hewitt. Hewitt on the podium earlier in the season at Landau for round 6. Coming under pressure from Jacob Dukes. And now Dukes is down the inside of Jaden Hewitt. Three minutes remaining in this second heat, as we see Jacob Dukes diving down the inside of Curtis Latimer to move him through into 2nd place. Then there's a train of karts all the way back then to Ollie Naylor in 6th place. He could take advantage here as the train tries to get to the inside of Latimer. He has to relent, then takes a huge chunk of curb, and that could allow Jaden Hewitt to get the cut back down the inside, and does, but then he takes too much curb to the inside, and now Hewitt has to defend venomously to the inside to stop Jensen Mason getting the run. All of this playing into the hands of the field behind. Horner, Cox, Ellis and Shields all nose to tail now as the field in front of them battle this one out. Garraway's got two seconds at the front of the lead. Let's see what Jacob Dukes has got in comparison. He takes a 10th out of Joe Garraway. It's not going to be enough to close this one in. Shields, I think, has found a way past Nicholas Ellis down there in their personal battle for 2nd place. He has done. Maximus Shields up past Nicholas Ellis, and it could be 2 racers with 2 finishing positions in front for Maximus Shields, which is all he has to do, is stay in front of Nicholas Ellis. Latimer and Hewitt still battling it out over 3rd now, with Hewitt in front. Latimer, though, will try and get back down the inside. Minute and 12 remaining. Ollie Naylor now then right on the back of Jensen Mason. Don't think they're going to get round for 2 more laps as Max Shields sends a move down the inside of Seamus Cox, then gets hard on the brake. Ellis comes through as well, so Shields with a great overtake, but not enough to give him the respite he needed. But then now Cox is back down the inside of Nicholas Ellis. They're side by side as they head down towards Shoemakers, and Cox in that British Racing green and orange car is back up in front. And Ellis then with a great move down the inside. You'll see him in the flash through in the background to be back alongside. And it looks like then Cox has got the move back done into that corner. Keep an eye out though on Ollie Naylor here, right in the back of Curtis Latimer. Running very, very well is Ollie Naylor in 6th place. Time has elapsed. Last lap board out as Garraway comes through. The gap's been coming down though, lap on lap. 1.5 now. Back to Jacob Dukes. Don't know quite how much though tyre preservation for the end of the day is coming into it here, with Garraway leading from Dukes. Then it's Hewitt, Mason, Latimer, Naylor, Shields in 7th, Cox and Ellis. Contact between Ollie Naylor as he sends a move down the inside of Curtis Latimer. This could open the door for Maximus Shields to come through, and does. Shields is through. Ollie Naylor sideswipes Curtis Latimer as they go into the right-hander at O'Rossi. Side pod to side pod. Checkered flag is out already though for Garraway as he comes through. There's your race winner with Dukes and Jaden Hewitt. Mason. Then it's Ollie Naylor, Maximus Shields, Curtis Latimer, Seamus Cox and Nicholas Ellis in 9th place.